On Blues Radio International, it's Jesse and Audrey, and we are now taking the viral antiviral world tour to the crossroads of America, Kansas City, to our friends Danielle Nicole and Brandon Miller. How are you?
Hey,
we're great.
How are you doing?
Awesome. Better now.
Yeah, we're with you, man. What could be better than that? So tell us how things are in Kansas City during the COVID-19 lockdown.
Well, we've been basically home since March 15th, like literally in this apartment. Although the state didn't have a stay-at-home order, our mayor just kind of went with all the big cities and just kind of shut them down with that. And so a lot of people thought it was really a drastic move, but we haven't really seen too much hysteria or anything. Being in the Midwest, it kind of filters in, so it takes a while to get here.
Yeah, I think it took a good 2 to 3 weeks to actually start getting a few cases, in the Midwest compared to how bad it hit New York and Jersey and everything. It took 2 to 3 weeks, and luckily, since we kind of took some of those drastic measures that we saw New York doing at the same time, by the time it got here, it had slowed it down so much that our numbers are very low, luckily, because of that. So
yeah. Compared to everywhere we were touring in March, at the time, like, because we did Boston, Philly, New York, DC. Like we were playing in our Philly show. It got canceled, and so we're like, right as we were going through, we were at the end of our tour, and everybody else was canceling because they were just starting their tours. And we would have been touring in the late March, but we did it earlier this year, and it ended up thankfully working out for us that we were able to finish our tour for the most part and get home. But I think be experiencing that for the first couple of weeks and then coming home, and when people in town, this is pretty drastic, and we were like, no, we were there, and it was, cities are locking down and it's coming. So we kind of knew it was coming more, but thankfully we don't have too many local people we know that have been sick and lost people, so I feel fortunate in that aspect that we're all healthy and in good spirits.
Yeah.
Well, and being at the crossroads of America, you're in a great position. You can hijack a toilet paper truck or train anytime you need to. So you're in safe territory, right?
Well, we are right on the track. So, I mean, there are, there's like 6 tracks right across the street from our apartment. So, we can hop on and get whatever we need.
Yeah. And it was funny, we, like Danielle said, our second to last show of the tour we were on in Philly got canceled. So we had a night off in Philly, played our show in DC, and started driving home. And we had been on the road for 2.5 weeks. And as we're driving home from Philly on that Sunday, or DC on Sunday, we started getting the notification the whole toilet paper craze was happening. And we're like, what's the deal with the toilet paper? So somewhere in between DC and Kansas City, we both look at each other in the van and we're like, do we have any toilet paper at home? Maybe we could start stop along the way and just fill the van with toilet paper. And because you're gone from home for weeks, it's like, we definitely don't have any food, but I can't remember if we have toilet paper.
It's
but
not something you take a mental note of normally.
Yeah, luckily we got home and we had toilet paper.
Yeah.
So when this is all over, though, you'll be able to open a very special museum with toilet paper across America. Really? We can have quite a display here.
Yes, of course.
Wow. Well, I know everyone who's watching with us is saying, when are they going to play and sing? So I have to ask you what you'd like to start with today. We can't wait to hear you.
Well, let's do, you want to do Monkey? Sure. Let's do Monkey. We're going to start with the Big Maybelle song. And I think it's it makes some sense right now because it's called One Monkey Don't Stop No Show. And it's going to be... Maybe I should have saved it for the end. This is more of an uplifting. This is one of the more uplifting songs, but whatever. We're feeling it. We're going to go with the moment. 1, 2, 3. My baby jumped up this morning, sat on the side of the bed, said, I'm leaving you, baby. This is just what I said. I can't make you stay if you want to go, but it's high time, baby, you should know. That I was driving, and he ran right out that door. Left me about 3 in the morning, I think it was. But I got me a man before. Some women dry when the men leave them drying on the slow, but there's some that I found out long time ago. Chicken-hearted, and I cried when they ran out the door. See, I was just a little young and simple back then. Everybody knows I ain't like that no more. Had a hard way to go before I learned the score, babe. Hey, I'm here to tell you, Lord, I should know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, one coronavirus don't stop no show, right?
Yeah, right?
Look at what's going on here. And I wish we could be together in person, but this is an incredible experience to be able to do this with you. and bring you to the world this way. Wow. I know Big Maybelle sung the song, but Stick McGee, I think, may have been the first one to put that out.
I'm not sure. I got it from her.
I think we all know the Big Maybelle version, but it preceded her from the 50s or something like that. But what a great song. So what's it like being home with the boys this much? Because you're on the road a lot, Danielle.
I am. I got home, and for basically the first time, and my Eli just turned 9, and for the first time since he's been alive, I was around him for a month straight, because even if we would take a couple weeks off from touring, I've never been home more than a month in my professional career. Even going through both of my pregnancies, I never went on leave for that long. So it's hard to feel grateful for the time because of the reason, because so many people are sick and so many people are suffering beyond the normal struggles of life. But I am grateful that I'm in a situation where I'm able to have that time with Elijah and Michael. We've been playing, we've been jamming, setting this home studio up and setting up all the microphones and cameras and stuff. The boys are they're loving it too. Michael he loves taking the mic and singing. And so it's bittersweet. It's very bittersweet. As a parent, I love it, but also as a parent, I'm scared to death because everybody's getting it.
How have you?
We don't take them to the grocery store. We limit. It's as a mother, it's very difficult because I'm I don't want to give in to all the hype. I consider myself to be a reasonably intelligent person, but at the same time, the motherly instinct in me is kids are getting sick, everybody's getting sick, so to want to protect them, but still, I'm lucky that we live right by the river, and so there's a huge park. So we're still able to get outside time, and it's not so much out of the ordinary other than homeschooling. And they don't go to the grocery store, we don't go out, but we go to the park more, and we take the dogs out for walks and stuff. And so we try to live as normally as we can. Mm. But the time that we've had together has been just amazing. It's so much fun. We play Uno. My 4-year-old schools me in Uno.
Love Uno.
No mercy, man. Kids have no mercy when you're playing Uno. I'm never teaching them Monopoly. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It'll bankrupt me.
Yeah, it might get real.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Hey,
I started taking all my physical money. You can't take my game money, too.
Right. All right. Wow. What would you like to play next?
Yeah. No, that's in, let's do that in D. What are you in? Are you in E flat? You're standard? Okay, let's do D. We're gonna. I've been digging deep and doing really, really enjoying. We're gonna do some original stuff too. But I was loving on Aretha Franklin's version of "Nighttime Is the Right Time," and so we're gonna do that. Or we're gonna do my version of Aretha's version of Ray Charles's "Nighttime Is the Right Time." All right, from 5. 1, 2, 3, go. Time is the right time to be with the one you love. Come on, baby, you know I love you. Oh, and you know who I'm thinking of. I tell you that the night time every day is the right time.
you squeeze it just as tight as you can. Lord, I tell you that the nighttime, every day is the right time to be with the one you love. Oh, can I call you baby? Baby, baby, oh, baby, you know I love you, put no one above you. I say hold me tight, baby, make everything alright. Because the nighttime, every day is the right time to be with the one you love. Oh, yes it is. Show you, baby, I don't want no other man, because the nighttime, oh, is the right time to be with the one you love.
I love watching you two play acoustic together. It is just my favorite. So you said that
He adapts very well to changes.
Aw, it's great that you give credit to each other.
Very well after the 5 years we've been sixth year. We're into our 6th year now, so it's never the same.
Never the same way twice.
That's the way to do it, though. That's why we love live music so much, because it literally is never the same, ever. It's the one and done.
Definitely not.
Well, we jump back from standard to E flat tuning a lot, and so sometimes I'll forget what my tuning is in. So I'll try and compensate because I'll think I'm tuned to E flat. So then I think I'm playing in D, and then I'm in E flat. That's kind of what just happened with that song. I was like, this seems kind of high when I'm singing it. I was like, oh. So, but you couldn't even tell.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Unless you said
It's
something,
like,
we would know.
It's just notes. It's got strings, so Brandon can make it fly.
That is for sure. And so, how long have you two been playing together?
This is our 6th year together now. Danielle called me at the very end of 2013, beginning of 2014. And she said that 2014 was going to be the last year of Trampled Underfoot. And then she would embark on a solo career in 2015. So at that time, I had my own trio, and we had just released a new album in 2014. So I played that year out on that album. And then we had done a few shows together in 2014. But then we started up in 2015 when her EP released, and then Wolf Den released later that year, and just been going ever since. So on to 6 years now, and seen a lot of stuff along the way. Different makes and matches. Matches with the band lineup. But toured the world, been to countries neither of us had been to before. So it's always fun to like dive into new countries where, certain artists you play with, you're like, oh, I've been here several times, so this is how, their culture is here, or, expect these certain things. But whenever you get into a country or a culture that nobody has been to before, that makes it really fun and quite an experience. So, yeah.
Something told me it was all over when I saw you and her walking by. Something deep down in my soul seemed cry, girl. It was when I saw you and that same girl you always talking. Oh, baby. Oh, I would rather be a blind girl than to see you walk away. Easy walk away from me, baby, no. Oh, do you see me? I love you so much. I can't stand to watch you leave me. But most of all, another thing is, honey, I don't wanna be free. your sweet kiss, this sweet kiss in your warm embrace. Oh, when I saw that reflection in a glass, when I held it to my lips, I was looking in that glass and I saw the tears rolling down my face. I cry, baby, baby. Baby, 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 oh baby, oh baby, I cry, baby, I cry now.
Thank you for that. It's beautiful. So, have you had any word about getting back out onto the road? I know that you said you've been home and it's like the longest you've been back for, years. Is there any lights at the end of this tunnel that you've been seeing, or is it still cancellations and such?
It's, I've been in contact with a lot of musicians. All festivals are pretty much, they're just following suit. It's getting later in the year. Newtoden, speaking of Norway, has just been postponed. We knew it was coming. The Holland Festival in June has also been postponed. We have a visitor coming. So.
Oh, come on. Yeah. Oh.
This is Etta. This is my girl, Etta. She will be 14 in November.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah. But sorry, but yeah, it's I've been texting back with a few. Oh, well, she just changed all your settings. Been in touch with a few musicians, and basically all of their tours are being rescheduled for next year. And I mean, I'm talking August, September, October tours. So it's especially the major festivals, they have to sell thousands and thousands of tickets. So even when the economy reopens and even when the orders are lifted, there are people that are still going to be really anxious about getting out there and just, opening the floodgates and being around people. And it's not so much the open air activities, I think, as it is concessions and the restrooms. Those spaces are, those are that. So I think that it's hard, I think we haven't heard any word on our August run being moved yet. But, we're not exactly holding our breath at the same time. So unfortunately, there's just no answer for that question. And what's really weird is that it's a delicate situation because each area has been affected differently. Omaha got affected differently than Manhattan. And so while Nebraska is, there are states that didn't even have any stay-at-home orders as well because they're so spread out the cases, or, they're just their officials didn't deem it necessary. And so deciding, which areas we want to travel to, my drummer lives in Vegas. So, I don't know how eager he is to fly right now or next month or the next,
It's just there's no short answer. Probably not this year, honestly. And that's a crazy thought. You know, on a large scale, it'll be next year. Small pubs, though, you know, the 100 to 300 seat capacities, which are, you know, reasonable, they'll probably be open sooner. So the smaller touring venues, but at the same time, when you're booking festivals to pay for the routing, and so you don't have those anchor shows, and so there's a lot of musicians that can't afford the risk into new markets. And, you know, there's a lot of album releases that are being pushed back or even pondered. You know, Brandon's got a new record and it's incredible. And it's, you know, do I release it in fall when we're not sure there's touring? You know, it's just such, it's an impossible question to answer, which is really hard. Yeah.
Now that certain places are opening over the next few weeks to the month, you know, that's kind of, a lot of it, you know, will come from how it's affected when places start to reopen. You'll be able to see how quickly, you know, people are going to venture out and feel comfortable in those situations. You know, so I would think by the time, you know, the end of May, beginning of June rolls around, you'll see if people are still staying home or, you know, they're how they feel about it, you know, because you know, it's up to the people whether they feel comfortable. If they, you know, aren't comfortable with it, even if places are open, then, you know, nobody's going to take that risk, and, you know, we're not going to drive 12 hours across the country, you know, just to be like, I hope people show up, you know, and they're like, I don't know yet. So
we can't afford it. Yeah. I mean, that's literally what our lives are, but, you know.
You know, so, you know, it just, it depends, you know, how certain areas of the country, how they take the reopening, you know, stages.
Yeah.
And all of this.
Well, I noticed that you guys have done some live streams, like you went over to Knuckleheads and you did like a virtual concert. And I think that that's fantastic, and that's what people have been doing to sort of keep themselves above water during this very bizarre time. Do you see that as being something that's sustainable for you? Like you could use that as your income stream until people do start coming back out to the shows and these bigger festivals, you know, start to rebound a little bit?
I think that's going to be the new reality for at least the rest of this year. Like I said, even if the stay-at-home orders are lifted, you know, when, not if, it's going to happen, you know, even when those are lifted, that doesn't mean that large gatherings aren't still going to be banned. So, you know, even if they're allowing 50 people into a club for, you know, it's like, you know, I'm not going to double my ticket prices simply because the venue can't allow people into the venue. So it's finding out that balance. And I think that what we did with Knuckleheads, it was a really interesting experience, but I think that that's kind of going to be the new reality, is where you're selling tickets online, and then, you know, if it's 50 people, the first 50 people get tickets. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to say that to be in that building, I'm going to charge you double. You know, I'm not a price gouger. I'm not like that. But, you know, what we've done with our live streams is partner with Knuckleheads, because Frank has hired so many musicians over the years, knowing that he wasn't going to make a dime, knowing that he was helping an artist break through, having, come on, I just need a gig in Kansas City. And he's like, all right, you know, and you know, he's in it for making money, like we all are, but at the same time, he's known for taking chances on musicians that he knows, you know, he's just a stopping through or something. And so we've done the live streams that we have done have been $10 ticket. And the first one we did, we went over to Knuckleheads, and that was before the stay-at-home order had come in Kansas City. And we did it socially distant, and it was really professional. It turned out great. And I think that's kind of going to be the new reality. And the reason that we did our second one and in our living room, it was, you know, we're trying to think of different ways to do it. We're experimenting differently, but the quality is all still the same. And I don't feel like just because we're all in a crisis, that musicians shouldn't be charging for the content that they're putting out. If it's professional, it's original, you know.
Yeah.
And I caught a little heat for it, but I'm standing, $10 isn't much. And, it's like I said, it's helping local musicians. It's helping my family. And the quality is still there. We're not sitting in our PJs with messy hair. I'm charging $10, but it's going to be professional, and it's not, it's what we have to do. We're going to be doing more over the next few weeks, probably the next few months. We'll see. But I think what Frank did with having the artists come to the venue, and he did it really responsibly. I did it myself, so I know, and it's great the way that they work the cameras and everything. So, but yeah, I think that's the way it's going to be going, and the businesses that make it through this stay at home and can open up again, I would just suggest that they get some good camera equipment and strong Wi-Fi, because it's going to be like this for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that's what we've had to do. And, you're artists, you create beautiful things, and there's absolutely no reason that you should feel obligated to give that away, especially when this is your vocation. It's your job. It's what you do to your livelihood.
Well, yeah, and how are you going to charge tickets when you've been doing it for free for the last 6 months? Because eventually you're going to have to get back out there. And I think everybody's just trying to find their place in the world right now. And there's a lot of struggles, but there's also a lot of really beautiful music being created right now, and it's amazing to see some of the transformations that people are having within themselves as well, having this alone time, really learning who they are. I see, and that's one of the beautiful things about it too, is seeing, like, the first couple of weeks, it was real angry and I got to stay home, and then they're just being rebellious, and then they're on to acceptance. It's like the 12, the stages of acceptance.
It is.
And now people are getting into the transformations, and it's really cool seeing, like, I just realized that I'm really good at this, and I'm finding out who I am, and when you're forced to be in your own self for this long, you can only BS yourself for so long in a situation like this.
Yeah, you definitely have to keep it real, and there has been some transitions for sure. What would you like to play for us next?
We're gonna do something off the Wolf Den. Am I stuck? No.
We should also thank your percussionist as well.
I love it.
Man, every time I tap on the one, I'm like, what are you doing?
It's cool. It sounds good. When I pull it off, it really works great. Ooh, it's just loud. So low down sometimes, way that you leave me crying. You so low down sometimes, way that you leave me crying. Only time that you ain't lying. You put the poison over me. It's
is what sealed our fate. Every time you put the poison over me, babe, is what sealed our fate. And watch you and watch yourself fade away. As you fade, babe, as you fade away. As you fade, babe, say, as you fade away. Ain't nothing left to say. Ooh, I ain't gonna call you, babe. Ain't nothing left to say. Find somebody else who gon' watch you and watch yourself fade away, babe. As you fade, as you fade away. As you fade, and say as you fade away.
Love it. Wow.
That foot tambourine is awesome.
Yeah, that is.
That ending was worth the price of admission.
It is. Yeah.
That's what I really miss. I miss telling all my really bad jokes to people. I have the worst jokes on, like, I don't shtick very well, like, on stage. I don't, like, Shamika's really great at telling stories. I love her show. She's so great at telling stories, and I bomb everything. That's almost my thing is bad storytelling.
Well, this is a very intimate setting. Let's pretend the rest of the world isn't here. It's just us, and we're in your room here, so you can practice on us.
Oh well,
and we promise to laugh too.
To talk to, so you know.
Yeah, they're like mom jokes. You know, there's dad jokes. You got mom jokes.
So
most of them aren't really appropriate for children's ears. But.
Oh, all right. Well,
we've got a filter for that, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Brandon, you've been playing with Danielle and on your own in your own band, and now you're in this situation. Even the things that are very familiar sound different to me. I hear lyrics, they have meanings that I didn't even know they had before this all happened. Are you experiencing any of that, and how do you see your music differently as you play together?
It's kind of anytime you spend time with other musicians, you start to see things from their perspective, and it's like you step in their shoes, and you gain knowledge from them as well. Anytime I've played with other people for a long amount of time, you start to you take different things from everybody, but you really start to show those qualities from other musicians, and you can see those coming out in your playing. Obviously, the style that I played for a long time was just, a lot of guitar, and it was all about the guitar. And then just over the 6 years that we've played together now, it's become, about the song for me, and the words and the lyrics. It's about the song and the message, and then, the guitar can come after that. And as long as it's telling and portraying the same message, then it's all it's all for the same purpose. And especially playing with Danielle, and as passionate as she is and emotional with how she, sings and portrays the music, that's something that I've picked up over the years of playing with her, that I could feel that transition in my playing as well, where it's like, okay, I feel like I'm, the solos that I'm playing, and when I sing as well, it's those things are, I'm singing through my instrument, just like she uses her voice to sing, and her bass playing and everything, and everything that you play has a purpose, and it's not just to fill space and time, and make noise. But I've really felt that, whether it's songs that I've written and I have sang for years, or new songs that come on the radio that I hear, if you really take time to listen to them, the words hit you differently. There's been certain life events that have happened to us and other people we know, and then you hear songs and you just hear them differently because of your experiences. There was, we lost a good friend not too long ago, and we were on the road when it happened, and we heard a song come on in a record store, and you could imagine what the lyrics meant, from what he was singing, the artist, and then now experiencing that, you're like, okay, I know how that feels, what pain he was suffering when he wrote that song, so that's something that Danielle has really showed me over the years, it's okay to show those emotions and be passionate about it and let that out.
Yeah. Danielle, do you see the music any differently going through this COVID-19 shutdown?
I'm sorry.
Aww. Take a minute if you need it. Aww.
Yeah, I think something that it's really hit is, as he was talking about, just more the message and the purpose of the story of the song. Really, just writing more. Not that what I'd written prior wasn't meaningful, but as what's going on, I mean, is affecting everybody so much. And as you know, and I think getting older and being a mother has a lot to do with it too, but just being less selfish about the stories that I want to share and what my message is, you know, and how much like lyrically, you know, dealing with music as therapy more melodically and lyrically telling just a little bit different story, different message, you know, and really putting a lot more intention in what the messages that I want to tell are, rather than just selfishly dealing with love loss and issues, you know what I mean, in that aspect. And so it doesn't discredit anything that I had done with Wolf Den or Trampled Underfoot or anything, but that was something that I had started consciously making an effort to do with Cry No More. And that was kind of how Bobby had come in with writing about my dad. And, you know, he passed away a very long time ago, and it was a real chaotic situation growing up. So I didn't really ever write about that. So I had started making a conscious effort to do that in the Cry No More songs. And what message, like Poison the Well, I didn't write that one, but I wanted to include it because I think it's a really healthy message about not poison, you know, when you just live in sorrow and you just wallow in whatever situation you're in, it's really doing more harm than good. And so, like, you know, and being more conscious about those kinds of songs, and just with the world the way it is now, I think it's more important than ever to just fill as much content of love and appreciation and just positivity, rather than just dwelling on issues.
Well, I'll tell you, love, appreciation, and positivity are three things that you were really giving us here today. It's very beautiful to be spending this time with you. And, you know, what's happened in the past few minutes in this interview, very similar to what we found around the world, is that we're all more sensitive, we're more open, we're feeling things, and we certainly are appreciating the people who are important in our lives at a much different level than we did before. And it's a beautiful thing that the masks are off. We don't have whatever persona we had. We're in a sense naked to the world here, and we're able to actually talk about and feel these things. And that's the most beautiful thing. Thank you for letting us be a part of that with you. It really is important for everyone.
Truly.
And all your fans.
Thank you.
Is there anything musically that you feel inspired to play at this point? I know I asked for 5 songs. I left a digit out there, but we'll stick with God. 5. What do you think would be the right thing now, on that beautiful note?
It's like it just went woo. So I'm trying to figure something out here.
Having a team meeting, that's all good.
Originals. Yeah.
Only want me when you need me. You only need me when you're down. wrong side of the road. Said you'd come when I called 2 hours ago. Oh, now you're too busy to come and help me out. Oh, the one way you need me. Oh, the one way you need me. You only need me way down. Oh, the one way you need me. You only need me when you're. You, babe. You, babe.
Wow. Wow. Danielle and Brandon, thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure as always to see you, but I know that you've really brought a lot of light, a lot of happiness, a lot of comfort, and a lot of hope to people who are feeling the worst of this right now and don't see any way up. And I think you've just shown them a little pathway up that ladder. And we can't thank you enough for sharing it with us.
Thank you guys for having us.
Well,
Thank
we
you
love
for
you.
this as well.
Okay.
I've been enjoying watching everything you guys have been doing as well. So thank you for
thank you.
Thank
We
you
couldn't
for
do it
watching.
without
Oh
the
my
musicians. What an honor for us.
Wow.
Well,
thank you.
Well, we got to get a group picture before we go here. We love you. We'll pose for it, and we'll see whether Audrey can set it up.
All right. Done.
There we go. Hey, we love you. Take care, and we can't wait to see you next, whether it's this way or in person.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we'll do this again.
Love you too.
Love you guys.
Love you too. Bye.